Welcome, Kas Knight family, man. What up? What up? What up? I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about the crypto, right? I'll just tell you this: Kas Knight's coming back stronger than ever, right? We're gonna relaunch after I find out which launch pad on Kaspa is not gonna go down, right? We'll figure that out, right? And then we'll go for it. I like Cron so far, man, but I haven't done it. We'll do a deep dive on a couple launch pads on the ecosystem stuff, right? And then we'll talk about it and I'll see what kind of feedback I get, man. I'll do some also other research, right? And then we'll figure that out. Bitcoin today, $63,110 right now. Looks like we're still making higher or lower highs and lower lows, right? On the 4 hour. This is a 4 hour chart, right? So the reason why I watch the 4 hour chart because I don't know, I feel like you can see like a whole day in like short move, right? What's a 24-hour move on the 4 hour chart, right? We'll start here, right? So 4, 8, 12, 16. 6 bars. Okay. So that little bit of space right there. So I guess I could just count it. Candle 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So so this blue candle, these three white candles, this blue candle, and this little white candle right here, that's a day, right? So when you're watching the 4 hour chart, dude, like that's pretty accurate. Like, so this is a couple days right here, this little move right here, right? I feel like that's about the speed I want to watch the chart, right? So, because if you watch like the daily chart, right, one candle is a whole day, right? So here, let me help you with the visual. Let me go ahead and get the pointer here, right? Oh, I already had one out. My bad. I got an arrow right. Arrow. All right, all right. So just so I can give you guys a better understanding of why I look at the 4 hour chart, right? So 24 hours, right? If you look at the daily chart, if each candle's 24 hours, right? Then this whole move right here from here down to here, right, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's 2 weeks, right? From the tippity tip right here to where we are right now is 2 weeks, right? So yeah, the tippity tip, right? Doesn't this look like an inverted head and shoulders forming, by the way? Man, look at this. Look, shoulder, head. This is taking a long time for the right shoulder to form because that's because it's right under this moving average that's trying to fight us right now, right? This is going to decide whether we're able to manage to conquer this or not. Is going to decide whether or not this turns into an inverted head and shoulders pattern that goes probably up to here at least, right? It would match the where it started, right? Or some sort of capitulation in another leg down, which would look like something like another one of these, right? It would look like something like that. In fact, you could even probably draw that out. That's how some people would even measure some stuff like that, right? And I know it drives people nuts probably that I use this little highlighter thing and just draw it like willy nilly like this, but I don't care if it bothers people because that's basically how you do it. It's not gonna look as pretty, but who cares, right? The price doesn't move pretty either, right? But that's what you'd be looking at some stuff like that, right? I know people don't want to hear that when I start putting stuff like that on the chart, like, Cass, I don't know what the heck he's talking about. Bitcoin ain't going down to no $46,900. Maybe not, right? Maybe not. But I'm saying that's what happens if the bear flag plays out. It's gonna come something like that, right? Even if you cut that sucker in half, you're looking at $55,000, right? So it's just prepared for that, right? It doesn't have to happen, of course. Nothing has to happen. Could it just keep going sideways like until it decides to start a bull market again? Sure. But all these moving averages would have to go sideways too and just and not keep adding downward pressure. And people would have to stop selling and, fudding it and that's not gonna happen, right? It's gonna go up and down, right? Sometimes more down than up, sometimes more up and down, right? So yeah, expect another move after this sideways after the participants in the market today decide what they're doing, because that's what sideway action is consolidation, and consolidation is indecision, meaning there's about the same amount of buyers as there is sellers in the market, so it doesn't go up or down, it goes sideways, right? That's pretty much how that works. Not pretty much how it works, that is how that works, right? The interesting thing is we've been getting certain points in time where we have you know little bit significant volume. It's significant when when these volume bars right here, red or green, exceed this orange dotted line. Look right here, right? That's just a moving average, right? So, and that just tells you what sort of volume. What's volume? Volume is participation. That means how many people are putting dollars. If there's 1,000 people buying $1,000, that's more volume than if there's 2 people buying $1,000, right? That would be the difference in like that or that, right? Try to give you guys a best visual, man, because nobody ever taught me this stuff, right? I had to watch people that like to hear themselves talk and then interpret it myself and figure out how to put it in layman's terms myself. So then when I decided to become an educator, I was like, I'm not going to be a douchebag that comes up on here and says, the elemental for the exponential move averages and moving average convergence divergence based upon the whatever the and just sound like a freaking just a douchebag trying to just so I sound smarter, right? How is that going to help anybody, right? So that's why I try to put everything in layman's terms, right? So if I oversimplify something and it bothers you, then you're not watching the right channel, because I'm gonna be oversimplifying all kind of stuff. Just so you know, right? Be like, Kas Knight said this, but really, if you carry the three and add the corresponding yada yada, it means this. Technically, so Kas Knight's wrong, right? No, I'm just dumbing it down, not dumbing it down. Like I'm making it to where my grandma can understand it if she watches one of my videos, or my niece or my nephew or freaking somebody that's never looked at Kaspa or charts or crypto before, and they hear, hey man, this stuff's changing the world, well, I better start to learn a little bit about it. Well, when they go to learn a little about it, they're gonna start watching YouTube videos and stuff on X and things like that, right? They're not gonna start picking up big books about crypto. Neither did I, right? They're gonna start watching people like me, right? Or other people, right? Well, it'd be nice if they understood what the heck the people are saying about this crypto stuff, right? So that's why I do I talk the way I talk, right? Anyway, that being said, I'm not zoomed out on the daily, right? On the weekly, so yeah, I'm not convinced either way that anything's gonna happen, right? There's no volume on the higher time frames, right now, right? And even when there was, nothing really, it didn't really do anything convincing, right? So I don't know. Let's look at Kaspa. You could have more spotlight Bitcoin when you do something. Holy crap, dude! Look how cheap Kaspa is. I'm gonna buy. If I could do it on my computer publicly, I would do it. I'm I'm gonna buy $100 in Kaspa as soon as I'm done with this video, because I gotta relaunch Kas Knight anyway. I need Kaspa to do it, right? Dude, look how cheap Kaspa is. What the hell? If you guys ain't buying Kaspa at this point, not financial advice, all right? But that being said, even though I'm not a financial advisor, what I'm saying to my friends and family and anybody watching this that values my opinion, I say, in my opinion, if you're not buying Kaspa at freaking 0.27 cents, 0.268 cents, dude, what are you doing? Let me remind you what Kaspa did in the last bear market. Bear market, right? Now, granted, it underperformed a little bit in what we call the bull market, but so did everything else, right? And everything else didn't have a run like this in the bear market, right? Kaspa did. Isn't Giannis Sampolinski a mad genius, dude? I've never met that guy, but someday I'll hopefully get to meet him. You're freaking awesome, dude. If you're watching this, which you're probably not. But I'm just saying, if you ever watch my videos, dude, I think you're badass, dude. But anyway, look at this, bro. Okay, when was this? March 2023. When did this move start, right? This move started right about right here, right? And then boom, and then that was the first move up. High, low, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? And then it started the lower low, lower high, and then so forth, right? So let's check this out, right? It started in March, right? Is that what we said? February of 2023, right? It ended, right? Not ended, but it topped out, right? This wick right here is when? July of 2024. Oh, what the heck? Think about that, guys. Okay, think about that for a second, right? I mean, pretty much from inception, right? I don't know if this is inception though. We're looking at a Mexi chart, so that's probably not inception. Let's not. All right, so let's go with what we're seeing on the chart, right? So I'm gonna say the bull run started right here. This move right here was the bull run started for Kaspa, right? Not the rest of the crypto. For crypto, the crypto market was in a straight bear market, and I'm gonna show you in a second, right? But that was February 6th, 2023, right? We'll call that February 6th, 2023, right? And then we went bam, 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 higher highs and higher lows all the way up until, what did I say it was? July 29th of 2024. So a year ago, right? And then, now, and that was what we would top out like 20 cents, 0.207 cents. So yeah, 20 cents, right? From freaking nothing, right? From zero point 0 for half a penny, from half a penny to 20 cents, right? 40x, right? We 40x, dude, in the bear market, right? How do people not talk about that enough, right? How you get all these Kaspa haters like talking about Kaspa this and Kaspa that? Dude, Kaspa did 40x in the bear market. This bear market that just passed, dude. Right? Part of that's actually was the bull market that nobody recognized because they said the bull market was going to be in 2025 and the end of 2024, right? Even me, because I was listening to all these fools, because that's when I was learning this stuff, right? I was learning this stuff in the bull market that was never a bull market, right? I did not know about Caspa right here. If I did, oh my gosh, we'd be talking. Well, we still be talking about it, but I'd be bragging a little bit more, and I'd be freaking driving a Lambo, and this chain right here would be really gold. This is not, by the way. Dang it, I forgot to do the rap video. All right, so we'll do the outro with the rap music. I forgot to do the video. What the heck? So anyway, thing's recording, right? This thing better be recording. Okay, we're recording. Okay. All right. So anyway, so let's look at Bitcoin. Let's give you some comparison. We'll go back to Bitcoin for a second on the weekly, right? So what was Bitcoin doing between February 2023 to July of 2024, right? Oh, this is Bitcoin dominance. My bad. I was like, what the heck is that? That ain't right. Let's see. Okay, 2023. Where is it at? I was like, that can't be right. It was in a bull run? No, it wasn't. I was like, I got the whole timeline messed up or what? Okay, here we go. February of 2023. I need a pointer here. All right, hold on a second. Let me get a pointer here. Dun, dun, dun. Whoa. All right, okay. Feels good to make content again, man. Can't keep me down, bro. Like, I'm a mentor by day, dude. So I tell people like how you respond to adversity and not, how many times you get kicked, but how many times you get up, all that crap. Not crap, but I mean that stuff. It's true, man. So anyway, I'm gonna get up. But look, so here we go. Bitcoin in February 2023, right here, right? This candle right here, right? So, I mean, let's measure it, right? Let's show. We got to give the whole context, right? It wasn't like going. It wasn't in a bear market, I guess. It was kind of, I guess, already started the pre-bull, right? This is called the pre-bull run right here, where this is the bottom of the bear market, right? And then all this stuff here is accumulation, right? So it was an accumulation, right? While Casper was in a bull run, right? But let's see. Hold on. It might have been part of it. Was this first part of the bull run might have been part of Casper's run too? Hold on. Probably, right? Let me see. March 2024. July 2024. Okay, so July 2024 is like right here, right? We are in the middle. We were flagging out and getting ready. Bitcoin was flagging out and getting ready to go for another leg up, and then down, and it'll flag out again, and then the last leg up, right? So Bitcoin had a lot of moves to go with it in the bull market because Bitcoin did have a bull market, right? Bitcoin absolutely had a bull market. Bitcoin went from 16,000 up to 126,000, right? This last bull cycle. Everybody's just didn't like the attention, the amount of attention the alts, the alternative coins, right? Not Bitcoin coins, right? So so you guys get the context there though? Like, cause no other cryptocurrency was in a bull market during that time, really. Definitely not over here, right? Definitely not over here, where I was showing you all this area right here. I mean, let's look. What was Ethereum doing, right? This is kind of fun. I like zooming back. I actually haven't even done this myself, so I'm like looking at this stuff at the same time. So it's not like I have anything rehearsed. I don't. I could get surprised and look like a dummy, right? But anyway, September. Okay, so it was an accumulation, right? Just like Bitcoin, right? This area right here. So that's what I'm trying to say. Solana, right? April, February, March, February. Solana was definitely only an accumulation, right? This was the area right here, right? I mean, I guess it did have this move right here. See what? Yeah, I guess it made this move right here too. So Solana went along a little bit, right? Let's see. July 2024 is where. So Solana had a little bit of a move, right? So this part right here, Solana made this move right here, right? While Kaspa made that move, which is interesting, right? So that's a pretty strong coin right there too, right? Oh, it went from eight. Oh yeah, so it went from that was when Solana made his biggest move. I just missed that. That sucks. That's all right. We got Kaspa. It's even more better. All right, so that's crazy. I didn't know that. I thought Kaspa made his. I thought Solana made his. Oh, I guess yeah, I made this other move right here back in 2021. Okay, that's still a big move right there. Look at this thing, right? Solana did pretty good this last bull run too. Anyway, I got some. All I got is like in my portfolios a few coins: Kaspa, Bitcoin, Solana, BitTensor, Tau, Render, a couple super duper micro caps that I got a little bit of money in. That I don't really shout out my micro caps, dude. I don't want to hear nobody freaking cry that they lost their freaking life savings because Kas Knight said something might do 100x, so he took a loan out or some dumb shit, right? All right. But yeah, dude, that's fun, right? So there we go. So nothing was in a bull run while Caspa was, right? Nothing like that. No, nothing was doing 40x, bro. Let's be real. I mean, did I measure it? Let's get an actual measurement, right? So from right here, right? What did I say? February 2023 to right here, right? 2,600x, so 26x, I guess. Is that right? 20 cents from like half a penny, I thought. I guess it depends if you measure. Okay, so that little tiny bit mattered, right? Yeah, because it's like a 40x. Half a penny to 1 penny is a 2x, right? And then to another 20 pennies, right? A 2x times 20 is 40x, dude. Not a mathematician, but I know that. I'm not Jonathan Sopolinski or nothing, but I can do basic math, right? So yeah. So what do you guys want to see? Okay. So let's look at the rest of the market so you guys can get a kind of overview of what everybody or everything else is doing, right? Others, right? So this is everything except for the top 10 cryptos in Bitcoin, Ethereum, the top 10 cryptos, right? Going sideways, buddy, right? Been going sideways for a while. And this is on the weekly. What you guys want to see the daily? Everybody likes to see zoomed in a little bit, right? This isn't really that zoomed in. Daily's pretty good to look at. Look at the wicks on that. Whoa, dude. What the heck? Doesn't that look strange? That shows you they're messing with us with these alts, man. Those wicks are bananas, dude. Holy moly. Has anybody looked at that? That's a strange looking daily chart, man. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to point that out to some people that I know anyway. Stable coin, right? Stable coins going sideways, right? So people aren't sure. Should we keep the money in crypto? Should we friggin' put it in stable coins? We're just gonna keep the ones we got in stablecoin. We're not deploying, we're not selling, we're not buying, we're just kicking it right here, right? So that's another sign of accumulation, right? And stable coins are going sideways, right? In my opinion, right? So what about Ethereum versus Bitcoin, right? Oh, wait, this is interesting. So it's been an uptrend against Bitcoins for how long? Since June 6th. Nice. So, I mean, look at that, right? Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher freaking low. That is what we in the business call an uptrend. And not only is it an uptrend, wow, this is interesting. This is going to be an interesting little segment here because look where it just found support. This is Ethereum versus Bitcoin. This is mean what is Ethereum how is Ethereum performing in comparison to Bitcoin, right? It just broke out, dude. It, on the daily, right? Wait a minute. Ethereum just broke out on Bitcoin against Bitcoin on the daily and broke above the 200 moving average. This is interesting. I didn't look at the chart before I made the video, so you guys get to get my reaction too. Hold on a second. I need an arrow marker, right? Wow, dude, that threw me off a little bit. All right, so I showed you the uptrend, right? Higher highs and higher lows. Now, this is the significant part because it tried to break above this 200 moving average before. This is the 200 exponential moving average. This is the 200 simple moving average, right? This rejection, right? Rejection, big wick right here underneath the red one, and then it broke through it, and then two rejections underneath the simple moving average, and then man, back underneath, right? Support on the 9 exponential moving average. That's the purple dotted line, right? And then rode that up for another attempt at the 200 exponential moving average. Rejection 1, 2, 3 times, right? Back down, support on the 9. Tried to tap the 21, right? And then back up again. Let's try again. Boom. This time it makes it. Breaks above the 200 exponential and simple moving averages, right? Because they converge. The simple moving average just made a cross, right? The SMA just crossed the EMA, right? And this work and the 200 SMA just crossed the 200 EMA, right? And the 200 SMA and the 200 EMA just crossed the 9 EMA, and it's about to cross the 21 EMA. This is significant stuff happening right here, especially with price action holding this moving average. That's what you want to see. You want to see the breakout and the retest, right? So look, what's Ethereum doing versus the dollar, right? Does it look as strong versus the dollar? On the dollar, it's under some moving averages, right? Versus the dollar, right? Oh wait, hold on. I forgot to point something out on this. The one thing I'm not excited about is this, the volume. I know, the volume. The volume, right? The volume did exceed the moving average during the breakout, though. See that? This move that finally got us above the moving average correlates and corresponds with this volume bar right here. So when I go like this and I put this line through there, oh. Yeah, see those candles right there? They correspond. These candles correspond with these volume bars. Now this pullback has less volume. That's significant because we're in an uptrend, right? You want this part to have less volume than the parts that are going up, right? And that's what's happening, right? Here's the move up, volume above the moving average, and the move down to cool off has less volume under the moving average, right? The move up, right, has volume above the moving average. See some of it and growing, right? Growing until they're above the moving average. And then these 2, 3 red candles, these would be red. I put blue on my chart for psychological reasons, right? So the pullback in the uptrend, right? Higher low, right? Why making the higher low has less volume, right? and then it went sideways a little bit, trying to, while it was trying to get above this 200 moving average, right? The volume was lackluster. Like, we don't know. Are we gonna make it? Usually, like, there's short. Some of the shorters are like short. We hit the 200 moving average short, right? So we got buyers and sellers fighting, right? So it's sideways. There's nothing convincing, right? And then the breakout, right? And now no volume on the consolidation, right? And that's where we're at right now. We're on no volume consolidation, currently printing a red daily candle, right? But that's it. That's promising, right? What do we want to see? We want to see more participants. We want to see more volume, right? Now let's look. You know what? Now I'm curious. Now I want to look at open interest, right? Open interest, right? All right. So, and there's a relative strength. RSI is going. RSI is going sideways, right? MACD's going sideways. We got the fast line under the slow line and printing red histograms on the. So that means there's slightly bearish. Slightly bearish though. Slightly bearish meaning look at these histograms. They're small, right? Compared to like when there's big over here, right? When they're making moves, they're actually breaking through moving averages and stuff, right? So this is interesting, man. Holy moly, dude. We could be like pre-breakout right now, dude. Like, I ain't gonna lie, dude, because Ethereum is the #1 altcoin right now. I love Kaspa. I think Kaspa will be the #1 altcoin and will eventually surely pass Ethereum in all regards, in every regard, right? In every regard, even the amount of dApps built on top of it, because eventually people will move off Ethereum and onto Kaspa once they realize what's going on, right? We know what's going on because we've been studying this crap like block tag, motherfuckers, right? Not everybody knows that. The half the world thinks Ethereum is the best crypto still, right? But you already know, man. You don't gotta. Anyway, so anyway. Keep an eye out for that, guys. I'm just saying this is something to possibly be excited about because if Ethereum breaks out, right, versus Bitcoin and versus the dollar, right? So it's got some work to do against the dollar, but man, dude, if it breaks out versus Bitcoin, it'll break out versus the dollar. Straight up, right? So if that happens, right, then everything built on top of Ethereum goes. And that's just like the ecosystem stuff, which is a lot, right? Turbo the Toad and freaking, I can't ever freaking think of good examples when I'm supposed to give examples like that. But everything's built on Ethereum that's an altcoin that's not a layer 1, right? Basically, except for all the new stuff that's building on Kaspa, right? Oh man, it's so exciting. Anyway, dude, this is supposed to be a short video, right? So I'm gonna hit you with the outro. All right, but yeah, I love you guys, man. Thank you guys for all the support, for supporting the Kas Knight, page, man. I took some lumps. Moonbound Launchpad went down, and God bless them. I'm not bashing Moonbound, dude. They are people building on Kaspa as well, and God bless you guys. And I hope the next thing you build on Kaspa is awesome, dude. Right? Because Moonbound was actually pretty awesome. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, I went down and I took a hit on it, and I got to relaunch Kas Knight. But that being said, dude, it was easier to launch than the other launch pad that I tried to launch Kas Knight on, and that's why I did it. It was seamless, right? It was the user interface was awesome. It was a fair launch Kaspa platform, right? And I would have got my money back if I would have been paying attention, right? And I might still, right? It was a fair. Build on Kaspa, y'all, right? Support the channel, like, share, community, guys. It's all about community, right? Kas Knight ain't going nowhere, man. I love this community. I love Kaspa.
Stand back, homies, get on back. It's a rap now. Kas Knight rapping, I'ma show you where we at now. Dag rabbit flowing with the track that be blowing like a gap. Why he strapped, fam? Crap happens where we at. So here's the flow. Here we go. Yo, Warren Rabbit with the glasses. Follow the way. Crash little rabbit here to educate the masses. Only spit the facts, man, and block Dag. Simply where the future's at, fam. So get the stacking Kas, fam. Every single day in every way that we can think to make it happen. Kaspa. What the kids be yelling from the back, bro? Holy moly, holy what? Holy effing crap, man. Kaspa's. Kas Knight can really effing rap, man. Never ever saw it coming, nah, bro. Never knew this crazy shit could happen. Little Warren Rabbit in a mask, vigilante black leather pants. Cold in here, we going with the flow. Wait, whoa, what the F is that, man? Man, is that the effing Batman symbol? Nah, man, that ain't Batman. That's a rabbit with the mask. It's the Kas Knight signal. Whoa, man, and who's that with him? Guardians of the Dag, man. Holy effing crap, man. The hell with effing
God bless you guys, man.
Woman, Kas Knight and Kascon coming with the smash, fam. Dag Knight putting Kaspi on the crypto map, man. Yeah, we did it in a flash, man. Yeah, man. Block dagging on the fast track, and we ain't never looking back. It's a wrap.
Kas Knight out, y'all.